All right. Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday. Welcome to my Small Business Saturday. And today I am joined by Steph from the Culver City CycleBar. Hi.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I am good. I'm good. So tell me a little bit about what it's like to have your business. You're a cycle bar, so you fall into the category of gyms, and with COVID and everything, how has that been for you?
Well, it's definitely been a test on perseverance and pivoting and, thinking outside of the box and just trying to motivate a group of people to just keep on going. It's been pretty challenging, but at the end of the day, I put so much into this business that there's really nothing that I'm going to let get in my way to not keep moving on. So, we just keep pushing through. Every day is kind of a new challenge, but just
Right.
put on whatever hat I need to put on for the day of, miss fix it and figure it out.
Very nice. And how is has the city been giving you guidelines, or are you getting more of your information from the chamber? How has that been for you?
So most of the information, as far as like guidelines go, it comes from LA County, and then the chamber and the city tend to send out weekly to bi-weekly updates that help us out, because a lot of times the county will update their website and not let the businesses know. And so because I'm on the email list with the city, I'll usually find out that way if something's changed.
Nice. And I have to ask, why did you choose to open your business in Culver City? What was it about Culver City that drew you?
Well, I don't live far from, I'm right outside of, on the outskirts of Culver City. And, I just really love the small town within the big town. I think it's great that there's a lot of access to, local officials and council. And I joined the chamber, and I'm actually part of the board of the chamber. And it's just, I really feel like my voice is heard a lot more because it's this city within the city. It's funny because I think about it. If I were just in regular LA, I have no idea what it would be like. This way, Culver City is like a family. I've been so surprised at how well, how small it is and how well everybody knows one another and are eager to help one another out and support local businesses. And it's great because with the school system as well, I like supporting the school and do a lot of donations and whatnot and fundraisers. And it's like I can actually see where all of the efforts are going versus it being dispersed all over town. So it's been great. I love having a business in Culver City.
That's awesome. I know we've got some people watching, so Rafi is saying hello.
Hi, Rafia.
And Monica says hello, Power Ladies.
Monica.
So thanks for watching with us today. So Steph, tell me a little bit about how COVID has impacted your business. I know gyms were hit really hard for a very long time. So how was that for you?
It was pretty rough. I opened in March of 2017, and we had to shut down on just about our third year anniversary on March 16th, which actually was my birthday. So that was a big bummer. And the crazy thing is we had never shut down before. From the day we opened, we are open 7 days a week, every holiday, we had never shut down. So to actually close the studio down was just a big deal in itself. And it was really hard. I think in the beginning, we thought it was just going to be a couple of weeks and, sent out that email of, we'll be back in 2 weeks, guys. And then that turned into another month and another month. And, it was incredibly challenging. I went online and started applying for the various government loans like right away, and just tried to do whatever I could to keep my staff working and really keep our community going. That was really important to me. Our community, CycleBar is an indoor cycling studio, but it's more than that. It really is a community and a family. And so I'm pretty much in the studio almost every day. And so to not see my people was really hard for me. And, it was able to engage all my staff to kind of reach out and touch base with everyone. And, when you take something away like that from people where they have a daily routine, because we had people that would come 5, 6 days a week and all of a sudden it's gone. And, they start going a little bit cuckoo too, because they're, we're part of their day. And so we just really tried to help foster our community and stay in touch with everyone and check in and, see how everybody was doing. So it definitely was a huge challenge, and being closed for, I think, 3.5 months was rough. I can't believe that we've actually been open as long as we were closed at this point, which is kind of crazy to me.
Yeah. I mean, I know I heard from other businesses that I've talked to, the applying for grants and applying for loans and all of that. I know the chamber was super instrumental in helping people with that process and getting the information out there. But I heard that a lot of grants weren't available to businesses in Culver City proper. Was that your experience as well?
Yeah, I haven't received any grant money. I've definitely was fortunate enough to get the SBA and PPP loans, but grant money, unfortunately, has not come my way. Although whenever it pops up, I apply as fast as I can. But, I can't say enough about the chamber just helping me out. Colin is, such a great support system. And, even helping me when I was just really struggling trying to get answers to a lot of things. He put me in touch with the mayor and with various people that could help me out and help answer questions. And that kind of just goes back to, I have no idea what that would have been like if I was just LA County or LA City. So to be able to have direct access to the mayor of our city was huge, huge. And it just helped so much because everything was up in the air. I mean, nobody really has answers. I feel like we might have a few more answers at this point, but there weren't a lot of answers, but there were a lot of questions. And, even if they didn't have the answers, they at least took the time to hear me out and try to come up with a good solution for things.
Yeah, I mean, I heard from other businesses that said they contacted the city to try and get answers to their questions, and they waited weeks without an answer, but they called the chamber. Within 24 hours, they had an answer to their question. I think that's very powerful. And it tests just how hard Colin and the rest of the chamber is working to help get this, everyone up and running and going and on target. So that's great.
Yeah, it is definitely helpful.
What do you think the city could do better for businesses like you? What do you see what do you think they're lacking? How can we help your business?
It's a really good question. I'm not sure if it would fall under city versus county, but one of the things that I've struggled with is, we're a fitness facility, but we kind of get lumped into big box gyms and CrossFit gyms and every gym. But being a boutique fitness studio, the way that we operate is very different. There's only one touch point, in our studio, and that's our bikes. And so we have a lot of control over what people where they're at. I mean, right now we're outside, so it's different. But when we first went indoors, we could control the situation, and people could walk directly. We made everything touchless. They walked directly to their bike. They did their class, and then they could leave and not touch anything else. And we really came up with all of our safety procedures. We, came up with a really good system where I felt we were very safe. But unfortunately, because we were lumped in with these big gyms, their rules became our rules and guidelines and whatnot. And I think, just like there's a public health department that goes out and checks on restaurants and hair salons and whatnot, some type of task force that could come in and just check out the way that we're running things and kind of see, okay, cool, they're doing that. Okay, they can operate. Right. Something, I don't know if I'm setting myself up to get, dinged for something, but I think we're doing a great job. So I think we'd pass and get a little A on the wall. But it makes, in situations like this, it makes you wonder. I mean, think about a gym. I mean, there's a lot of sweat, there's a lot of
Right.
breathing and whatnot. It surprises me that there isn't a system like that already in place. So again, I don't know if that's a city thing, but if it does start with the city, I mean, I'd be welcome. I was really into just, hey, come in and see what we're doing, and then make the guidelines off of what we're doing, or at least be able to make exceptions for the different types of gyms that exist, because you go to a big box and you're like, okay, I'm on the weights and I'm touching that. Now I'm on the treadmill and now I'm on this machine and that machine. Well, that's just not what we do. So I think the risk is a lot lower in my studio. So just being able to have some type of health department come out and inspect and make decisions based on that versus, just a general blanket.
Sure. I think one of the things that we could do for you is honestly, the council has the power to push back to the county and say, look, there is this different sector of gyms. Here's a great example. Come out and see, and let's make different guidelines. That's definitely something that could be done for you. I wish they would do it, but I think you guys are doing it. I've seen, you guys in the parking lot there. And if nothing else, I mean, it's great hearing your music while you walk around there.
Thank you. Yeah, we're definitely causing a ruckus in the center, I'll say that. But, the one good thing that turns out of it is that a lot of time, because the name of the studio is CycleBar, a lot of people actually think that our studio is a bar, like a biker bar. And we're in a center in the Culver Crossroads, and there's a lot of restaurants in the center. And so it makes sense. And so now that we're outside in front of everyone, we have people coming that are at Starbucks or Blaze, and they come by and they're like, oh, I didn't realize this is what you're doing. It looks like a lot of fun. We'd love to sign up. So it's great press for us, where we couldn't get that before because we just look like, a storefront. So I will say that definitely, we're like a billboard right now outside. Yeah. And it's bringing a lot of fun energy to the center. I mean, I was there a lot, during the closure, and it was just a ghost town. And it's scary to see something like that because when things, when businesses aren't open, you start getting, there's a homeless problem, and, we're right up against a residential area as well. And, you want to see liveliness in these business centers. And so as soon as we were able to reopen, I mean, our center just kind of came back to life, and that was really cool to see as well. And, a lot of the people, you think about it, you're working out afterwards, everybody gets their Starbucks coffee, they go over to Quench and get their juice. So a lot of my riders patron the rest of the center. So it's been nice to see it come back to life.
That's awesome. I know we've got some comments that rolled in. So Kevin says, Steph is an awesome addition to Culver City. Thank you for being so supportive of our business and school communities.
Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, it's, oh, sorry, are we reading?
Monica says, I agree. She's great and always looking for ways to support and help our community.
Thank you. I do, and just to kind of plug in right now, if anyone is looking for, any kind of partnership, I that's something that we're doing a lot of right now. I do a lot of outreach just by various events, and a lot of times, I'll have a booth at a race or a health fair and whatnot, and those aren't happening right now. And, we're suffering because of it, because that's where I get a lot of leads. And, other businesses that are involved in that, or even just the races and whatnot, they're suffering as well. So now we're trying to find different ways where we can come together and help each other out. So for example, we had Gooder Sunglasses they're located in Playa Vista, and they did a collaboration with us last weekend and gave everybody sunglasses, which was really cool. And, which is great because we're riding outside, but it was great because they're usually at events and now they can't do that. So they're partnering up with me so that we can, share the brand with my riders. And then my riders also got to go home with some awesome glasses. So right now, that's kind of my goal, is to just sort of connect with businesses that could use a little bit of a boost, or just get in front of like-minded people. And it's, good. So if anybody's looking to partner up, I'm happy to shout out and do help each other out.
Absolutely. I think that that's something that we'd like to see all over. I think it's definitely the way to get through this time is through everyone adapting and promoting each other and helping each other. And one of the things that I've said I would have liked to see, and I'd still like to see if we can get it done, is a lot of businesses people aren't going just because they don't know that they're open. And like you said, you're on the city's email list, and they send out these guidelines. But at the bottom of the guidelines, why can't we have a list of businesses that are open and what their hours are or what changes there are? I think that's a great way, an easy way to promote your business and tell everyone, hey, we're open, come and join us. So
Yeah,
I'd love to see that.
yeah, I would love that. And even just being able to go over, I mean, I get a lot of phone calls of just people inquiring about what our safety procedures are. So if I could, something like that would be a great resource for people. If I could kind of list out how we're operating, obviously they're more than welcome to call us, but if we have it spelled out right there, it saves a little bit of time for everybody.
Yeah, everything could just be, mainstreamed, I think is the thing that we need to do. And it's just a lot of this is promotion, and that's part of the reason I started this Small Business Saturdays. I was looking for a way to reach out to small business owners and talk to them about their business, especially with COVID going on, and figure out how we can partner and work together to make sure that their businesses survive this time. And I definitely think there needs to be a partnership between the council and the chamber. I would love to see more of that. For some reason, there's been this disconnect between the chamber and the council. But I mean, you're on the board of the chamber. I think the chamber is a tool that we could really utilize.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's something that we're definitely missing out on.
Absolutely. I mean, again, I can't say enough about what they've done for me. CycleBar is a franchise, and so the benefit of that for me is that during the closure, I wasn't alone. I had other CycleBar owners across the country that I could talk with. And I also had our corporate office that was helping us out with different resources. And not that the chamber is a franchise, but being able to have a resource like that was really fantastic. And I agree. I mean, if there's a direct line to city council, somehow marrying those two together, I think that would be incredibly beneficial, especially since council is just, to me, seems incredibly accessible. So it seems like an easy thing that could happen. So I agree.
Absolutely. What do you think the biggest benefit of joining the chamber has been for you?
I mean, I'm really big on networking and just talking to people. I mean, for me, I guess, gosh, that's COVID, specifically with COVID, just having somebody to talk to and hear my issues and help me find problems just as a resource has been great. Outside of COVID, I mean, just meeting people. And I think that growing my community couldn't have happened without meeting the people that I've met through the chamber. And I mean, I would not be where I'm at today if it weren't for the chamber. So, I mean, I really owe a lot of, my success to just being able to go to the breakfast. I mean, and go to the, just all the different events that we have that are, connect us up with our fellow small business owners. I had prior to doing CycleBar, I worked in the film and television industry. So I really had zero connection to small businesses. So it was definitely a huge restart and reset. So it was a great way to just get a bunch of like-minded people together, even though, everybody has various backgrounds and different types of businesses, but it's, we all kind of struggle with similar issues of, who are our clients? How are we going to get them in our doors? And, what services can we provide? And, how can we benefit our city? And so I think that just has been, so helpful to be able to talk to people that are going through the same thing.
Yeah. And how are your outside classes going? Are you finding that people like it, or are you itching to get back inside?
I'm itching to get back inside. I mean, mainly, it's a lot of work. We drag out 24 bikes 4 times a day, throwing up pop-up tents. And, I don't think most of my girls that work for me didn't really sign up for all this labor, but I kind of treat, like I said, I was in the film and TV industry before, so I've just sort of turned it into like a little set, and they're all my production assistants, and we're just throwing up everything everywhere. But, it's funny. People actually really love the rides outside. They like, people that were diehards with me before, and or just diehard gym rats, they don't get to see a lot of sun, I guess, and so they love having that wind in their hair, even though they're riding a bike that's not going anywhere. But as far as safety goes, everyone has come up to me and said that they feel a lot safer being outside for the time being. And, just hearing from people that say they don't go anywhere other than Trader Joe's and CycleBar. And so, it just, to me, it says that they have a lot, we mean a lot to these people. We're providing a service that I think is essential. It's so important to keep moving your body for your mental and physical health. And so, just being able to have that, even when it's like, personally, I didn't think that people were going to like being outside, because we have this great, we have a beautiful studio, and it's air conditioned and it's dark, and we have these fun lights, and there's TV screens and whatnot. And we've literally stripped everything away from them, and it's just your bike and your instructor, and here's the world. So I've been very surprised that people have taken to it as well as they have. And I was hit pretty hard. I lost over half my members when we shut down, and it took me 3 years to build that up. And so I'm just kind of got, really kind of punched in the stomach, so to speak. But, but I can't convince people to come if they don't feel comfortable. I'm not going to do that, and so I've had to just sort of, okay, that's all right. When we go back inside, I'm sure they'll be back. And for now, we just have to focus on a new group of people. So my new riders that are coming in, they feel safe, and they're happy that we're open and are able to provide. And I've been very happy just seeing how well people have respected all of our safety procedures and protocols. We really haven't had a problem with anyone, not wanting to, follow protocols. And that's been great. And I appreciate how respectful everybody's been in the business, because nobody wants to shut it down. All it takes is one person to come in who isn't doing their part to be safe. They're not wearing their masks, or they're not, social distancing, and they're getting together with groups of friends. And, I just kind of, when we first opened, I went in front of every class and just sort of gave a speech about how important it was. We're so happy to be back, but it's really important that, not only is it our responsibility to make sure we provide a safe environment for you guys, but that you guys do your part and you're being safe. And when you come here, you're seeing that you're, being safe, because like I said, it takes one person to shut the whole operation down. And so I think that, we're just very lucky that we have such a great group of people. And again, I'll probably say it's Culver City as well. I think, the residents are really fantastic, and it's a great city to be in and work in.
Yeah. That's one of the greatest things about Culver City is we are a pretty tight-knit community. And it's one of those, I grew up here in Culver City.
Oh, cool.
I've had the benefit of, seeing it change and adapt, over the course of my lifetime. And my parents grew up here also.
Oh,
so
cool.
All their stories of what Culver City used to be and how it's changed from them. And, having teachers that were in high school with my parents, and, there's really a great community, and we stand behind our small businesses, which I think is really great, especially right now. So it's definitely something that makes us unique, and it makes us special.
Absolutely.
So, yes. So what made you get started in the fitness industry?
It's kind of a long story, so I'll try to shorten it. But, I kind of hit this point in my life where, I'd worked in TV for about 20 years, and I turned 40 and was like, well, here's that point where I feel like if I'm going to make a change, I got to make it now, because, I don't really want to make a career change 10 years from now, and I'd really gotten involved in in triathlons and running and just all various types of fitness, and was finding that I was kind of working in order to support my fitness habit. So I decided that, well, maybe since this has become such a passion of mine and people had really kind of seen a change in me and you know, my outlook on how I approach things and just my physical you know, appearance changing as well. And they were asking me what I was doing, and I was dishing out a lot of advice. And I thought, you know, maybe this is something that I should do. And I had gotten into fitness through a lot of charities, you know, Leukemia and Lymphoma Society and the AIDS Ride. And I just found that giving back to the community was a big part of my family's values and my values. And so one day I just started Googling and put it my favorite sport in triathlons was the cycling aspect. And, you know, I think I typed in cycling and philanthropy, and the franchise of CycleBar popped up. And I went out and went to their discovery day and really was just blown away with, you know, I could do this. And it wasn't really just about, okay, here's a place where people go and work out and they leave. It's about creating a community and building relationships and creating a space where people feel safe and they feel encouraged and they can leave everything at the door and come in and, you know, for 45 minutes, just feel good about themselves, and they can, you know, create goals and achieve those goals and, you know, feel really proud about themselves, and then take that outside of the studio and start making changes in their personal lives. And I mean, it's been amazing. I've seen it happen since almost day one. And people that have been with me since day one, just how they were when they walked in our door then to 3 years later. I mean, they're still obviously the same people, but I've watched them achieve so many great things, and they're so happy when they hit milestones and whatnot. And I love being a part of that. And, you know, it's great. It's been incredibly rewarding. I think I had a really fun career prior to this. But as far as finding something that made me really want to get out of bed every morning and feel like I was making a difference in the world, you know, I found it with CycleBar. And just being able to start at a local level, you know, in Culver, but then also look at it a larger scheme of things too. It's all kind of has come together, and I've been incredibly happy with it. And, you know, I just hope that, you know, not hope, I mean, we will get through this. There's definitely a lot of roadblocks and whatnot with this pandemic, but, you know, I got this tunnel vision to just get through it, and, you know, we'll survive.
So do you guys offer classes for people of all different levels, from somebody who has never touched a bicycle in their life to, you know, pros, if you will?
Yeah, so all of our classes do welcome all levels. So we don't have a beginner, intermediate, advanced class. And what I love about our classes and our instructors and just cycling in general, it's so adaptable for people that are, you know, coming back from injuries or from a surgery, or they haven't worked out in 5 years or 3 months or whatever. It's, you know, just you on your bike, and the way that the instructor teaches, you know, you can hit the higher levels or you can stay at the lower level. And we have this great, you know, we have computers on each bike, and they're able to track your progress. And yeah, I mean, we the best part I think about our studio is that we do welcome all levels, and you'll never feel uncomfortable or that, you know, that you're not going to fit in, because the second you walk up to our doors, well, not really come into our doors right now, but stay outside near our doors, you're going to feel welcomed and inspired, and everybody's just one big family. And so it's a great place to start your fitness journey, you know, no matter where you are in it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So Rafia says, love that story. Having a business and your passion mesh together is huge. You're so lucky.
Thank you. I am. I'm incredibly lucky that I found something that I love so much. And like I said, you know, wake up in the morning, and of course they're always early mornings, but, and sometimes I don't want to get up, but, you know, these people show up for me every day. So I'm going to show up for them.
That's awesome. What's the general, like, age range of people that come to CycleBar?
It's incredibly mixed. I would say probably, and we definitely skew female more, but we are, since COVID, we've gotten a lot more guys coming in, which I'm like, guys, you got a lot of like lovely ladies working out in sports. um, just saying, it's a great place for singles, especially right now when you can't go to a bar. But I would say our age range is probably average 25 to 60. I mean, it's pretty range. I mean, I have high school students as well and athletes from Culver High and all the way, I have people in their 70s as well, but that 25 to 55, I would say, is probably the thing. It's a big age range, but we're very diverse team community.
Yeah. So what I know that there's, because you guys are outside and you have to take over parking spaces in order to do that. If somebody wanted to stop by and see some of your classes, what time are your classes going on right now?
Yep. So in the morning we start at 7:30 and we go until 10:45, and then we're taking a break in the afternoon and we come back at 4:45. It's going to be our earliest class, and then we finish at 8:00 p.m. So I recommend swinging by in the morning just because the parking lot gets a little crowded at night because a lot of people are going to dinner at one of the restaurants. And stop by in the morning. It's funny because I have a lot of my members that haven't come back yet that are, they'll call and just check in and see how they're doing, how we're doing. And, I just say, do a drive-by and honk at us or something. And they do, and it's great. And actually most of them come back because, a lot, it's hard right now. I mean, everything is really scary and just there's so much of the unknown, but sometimes you just kind of need to see it happening. And I welcome everyone to come by and watch what we're doing and ask about our procedures and, make suggestions too. I mean, there's always something that I can learn from someone else if they see something that we're doing that they don't think is, that we could improve on. I'm very open to that. But please swing on by and check us out.
Yeah, I was like I said, I was over there about a week and a half ago or so, and I actually got to meet some of your employees, and they were wiping things down and talking about CycleBar, and I thanked them for their music and everything else. Everyone, it's a lot of fun, and that's the main thing. My main takeaway from your classes is nobody looked like they were like, oh my gosh, I'm at the gym. They were all having fun, and that's so cool.
Yeah, it's such a fun workout. And I always say nobody leaves a spin class. It doesn't matter what their mental state was before they came, because trust me, like with traffic and bad days at work and whatever, like we got, people come in with their carrying the weight of their day with them, and they take class and they leave and it's just all smiles. And I love that. I love seeing that. And, nobody leaves the spin class Nobody leaves this spin class unhappy. Is that the right way to say it? Not happy. Everyone's happy when they leave.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's smiling, everyone's great. And I think that's truly unique, especially right now. A lot of people are feeling stressed and a lot of people have anxiety about going out, but you go out and you see all these people smiling and riding these bikes in a parking lot, and you're like, wow, they're so happy.
I know, it blows me away. I mean, like I said, we've literally stripped it down to just the basics and everybody loves it. And I'm like, okay, like we're still going to crank along and still be there. And like I said, I mean, in the beginning of this, I just felt like just getting thrown curveballs every single day. There was something new. It was like, okay, now we got to wear masks. Now we got to wear gloves. Now we got to wear this. And it's like, throw it to me. Give me something else. I got to just figure it out and knock it back. And I definitely attribute my background in production logistics to be able to handle situations and come up with solutions really quickly on the fly. And I don't think our writers, to me, it was all about making sure that they were taken care of and felt safe, and we're still having the experience that they were paying for, and I don't think that's been compromised, which is great. And my staff has been fantastic, and I definitely would not have been able to keep this thing running if I didn't have such a great team behind me as well.
That's so awesome. So we do have a question from you for you from Marta. Do you have a trial rate? Not sure if I can physically bike.
Yes, you can. Everyone can. Yes, we do have a first ride offer that's $20. It's normally $27. And we also are doing a promotion right now where you can do a week of unlimited rides for $49. And then we have a lot of other specials too, but come on down for the But if you're friends with a member, members do get to bring unlimited guests for free. So if it's your first time riding and you know somebody that rides at CycleBar who's a member, just bug them a little bit and say, hey, can I come as your guest? And then you get to come for free.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So going forward, I'm running for city council, and I'm trying to improve small businesses and ensure that you guys have somebody on council who's, really representing you and your interests. And what would you like to see from a council going forward in terms of how we can help small businesses like yours?
I think that what we talked about before, just being able to help us with some of the county guidelines and help understand our businesses and understand that not all of, just because we're a checkbox that we're a gym doesn't mean that we operate like all the other gyms. And so, I know it's hard to come out to every single business in Culver City, but if maybe we're all kind of divided into our, restaurants and fitness facilities and, education, whatever, if there's a way to kind of put a person on each of these little groups, and then you take on all the gyms and meet everyone and see how we operate and help us come, I think it's actually a big issue right now in the state where in fact, I believe there are a lot of boutique studios that are suing the state at the moment because they don't feel like they fit into that big box. And so I think at a local level, it would be great if, that could be recognized first and understand, and then that could get pushed up to the county and the county up to the state.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we've talked about it. Culver City is it's not a small city, but it's smaller. Mm-hmm. And I think that there's definitely ways that the council can be more proactive instead of reactive. One of the things in some of my other chats that I've mentioned that I wish had happened is all of this went down, and I wish there was some kind of, even if, virtual meeting, like, hey, you're a business, let's combine with the chamber and let's have this meeting and see what we can do. And then I know Joran has done a great job of ensuring that, he's talking to the businesses, but he's only one voice on the council. Mm-hmm. So I think it would have been nice if you had all five, just come to you and say, hi, how can I help you? Mm-hmm. And I really think that's the difference here is I want us to be more proactive. I want us to go out into the community, and I want us to talk to our businesses and say, how are you doing? How can we help? Because that's what we're there for, right? Mm-hmm. The city works for the residents. The residents don't work for the city. So I definitely think it's time to make that little bit of a change. So
yeah, I think I definitely support that and think that would be a great way to help us right now, especially, I mean, it's hard because, like you said before, people have a lot of anxiety and they're just going through stress, and we're people, we're business owners, but we're people too. So and I have to go in and have this, all right, everybody, rallying everyone. But, at night I come home and I struggle with the same issues that everybody else has too. And so to treat us see us as people that also are struggling, I think it would be really beneficial just to feel like somebody's there to hear us,
Yeah.
and hear our struggle.
Even if we only spent 10 minutes every council meeting, talking about businesses and who needs help, who needs, even if you were to write us an email, hey, I'm running low on PPE, can you help me find it? Things like that, are just so easy for us to help out.
Yeah, that actually, bringing that up, where I can get gloves. It is like great. Well, because I require my staff to wear gloves at all times, and I used to get them for a certain amount of price on Amazon, and now it's 3 times the cost, and they're only saving it for frontline workers. And it's like, I know we're not frontline workers, but it's a necessity that I have, and it's been challenging to find that. So yes, I would definitely benefit from something like that. I don't know if there's something where the council could create like an online portal system. I'm sure that you guys don't just want to get emails, and how to sort that out, but something like almost like a support help desk where it's like a drop down menu of, your category of your business, the category of, what the issue is, and then you can kind of write your comment in, and then it goes to the right person. I think that would be incredibly beneficial to business owners.
Absolutely. I think that, like I said, if we were to partner with the chamber, that may be a way of getting it done. It goes to the chamber sends a list to the council and says, here we go. That's the thing that I keep championing is really in this whole process, this whole COVID situation, the chamber has been boots on the ground, asking our businesses what they need. And if the city had just partnered with, we could have gotten a lot of this done ahead of time. So we've got some other people that are saying hello now. We've got Maria. Hi, Heather and Steph. Hello, Maria.
Hi, Maria.
And then Maria's asking, Steph, how's your Santa Monica location doing?
Oh, thanks for asking. I did 2 months before the pandemic closure, I opened up a second studio in Santa Monica. So that was fun. To the date, 2 months we shut down, and it was a real challenge. And thank you, Maria, for asking. It's definitely, it's been a harder rebuild because we didn't have the ridership there before. But again, I'm happy that I'm in a city that's a city within a city. Santa Monica has its own, chamber and resources that it has. And so I feel lucky to be a part of that, but it's definitely a slower rebuild. It's struggling, but we're plowing through. I have a great team over there working really hard. It's different though, because, we're in Culver City, we're right out in front of the studio in our parking lot, which is very open to the public. In Santa Monica, I have a little courtyard that we have these glass doors that we can kind of shut. So the general public isn't cars aren't driving behind the bikes and people aren't walking behind the bikes. So it's a little more private. So in that way, it's kind of nice. And we opened up our membership and so that if you have rides in Culver or Santa Monica, you can use them in both locations, which has been great because it's, we're pretty packed in Culver. And so if people can't get into a class there, they can use their credits over in Santa Monica. And, with traffic not being as bad as it used to be, driving to Santa Monica isn't as much of a headache as it was. So we're seeing a lot of crossover with that, which is definitely helping.
That's awesome. And then I have Yusuf. Can we talk about ADUs? Yusuf, we are going to get there. Today we will not talk about ADUs, but very, very soon. And I'm sorry if you can hear that jackhammering that's going on outside. So I think we're going to have to wrap it up because it sounds like they're going to be digging. Right before we came on, everyone, I just want you to know the water main outside my apartment broke. So that's why. Let's see. Maria had a question. Heather, are you aware of any financial resources offered to businesses by the city? Maria, there's not a whole lot, and I wish there was more. I think that for some reason, I said before, Culver City has been this little black hole for grants, and I'm not entirely sure why that is. I would love to find out, but I think there's a lot more that we can do. So stand by. I'm looking into that for sure.
I wasn't aware of that. So the grants that have put out through LA County haven't people
A
in
lot
Culver.
of them, people for Culver City have not been eligible for. Businesses in Culver City aren't eligible for some of the LA County grants. And I'm not sure why. But it's something that I've been looking into. So I
Probably haven't been getting them.
posted.
Got it.
Okay. And then Marta is plugging my event tomorrow. Thank you, Marta. There is going to be a meet and greet with me tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
You can take the opportunity to ask questions on important issues, state of the city and policies. And that's going to be tomorrow, the 18th, from 3 to 5, 10838 Braddock Drive. So if anybody would like to come and ask me questions, I will be there. So
is that an in-person or virtual event?
It is in person, but distanced. Very, very cautious. I do not want COVID. I know nobody else wants COVID. Don't feel well, stay home. Otherwise, please wear a mask, and we have plenty of sanitizer and wipes and everything else. So I hope I can see some of you guys tomorrow. And Steph, I want to thank you so much for coming on and talking about your business. Like I said, the whole point of this was to help promote businesses that are either opening or have been open during COVID and try to get you some publicity and get your name out there. Because, the biggest struggle has been a lot of people don't know that businesses are open. So I hope that everyone that's watching now and watching later will go and stop by and see what the CycleBar is all about. Like I said, they have great music. They have a lot of fun. I really encourage everyone to stop by.
You have to stop by, Heather.
Yes, I gotta come when you're there.
I'm always
great the other night, but
well, thank you so much for the opportunity. I really appreciate it, and this is just, again, having the support of the city is huge, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Well, thank you so much, and everyone, if you want to learn more about CycleBar, and the ticker at the bottom is their website, or you can go to the Culver Crossroads and talk to any of the staff there. They are very, very friendly. So stop by, go to the website, talk to Steph. There's a million different ways for you to find out. And if you want to know more about me and my campaign, or you want to get involved in these last few weeks, make a donation, anything like that, my website is heatherforculvercitycouncil.com. You can also message me, call me, email me. There's a million ways to get a hold of me. So thank you all for joining us on this beautiful Saturday. And thanks again, Steph and CycleBar, for stopping by and having this conversation with us.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.